You don't like this music, you don't be listening to it, you know I'm just a dude that you know, or something similar. If you don't keep it real, then you go somewhere but here, cause you know we're only losing.
What is up, guys? David MC here, and this video right here is bringing you guys underrated tips that you think, or I think you guys will really need before you go on your next excursion. So in this video, I'm pretty much going to be using Cancun in general as an example of this whole video, but these tips can also go to any other place that you're willing to travel to. So we're going to jump into number one, which is buying excursions in person instead of on websites like TripAdvisor. Now, if you're a person that wants to have everything already sorted out before you even get to a traveling location, you want to have the flight, you want to have the hotel and the trips already paid for, and you're really good at that, then by all means, you can probably skip this step. But letting you know, paying up in front or in person with the excursion that you really want to do will probably save you a lot more money than you think. Most of the time when you pay online like TripAdvisors, you get the flat total, and that's pretty much the total that you see, and that's really what you pay. But if you're paying in person, you get to really finagle and haggle most of the ways and really lower that price that you really see that could have been online. Now, when you actually book online, you actually see the fee that you're willing to pay right next to pretty much the quantity or whomever is accompanying you on that trip. But when you actually pay in person, you'd be surprised how significantly cheaper it is to actually just ask the person or the people selling you that excursion exactly how much cheaper it really is. On TripAdvisor, our actual excursion cost $69 per person. Now that's the adult price. Children price, or below 12 years of age, it was $49 per person. And that was not including transportation. And transportation, it's $81 per person as an adult. We had 8 people total, 7 adults, 1 kid. Only 1 kid was under 12. The total of that plus transportation, because to be honest, everyone wants transportation. You wouldn't want to go someplace and have to pay it yourself. Anyways, transportation included, that price ranged up to $628. That's total for the Isla Mujeres day trip, all you can drink, all you can eat, and really just relaxing on the beach. But in person, and actually after talking to the people who actually are over these excursions and selling these excursions, we only paid $48 per person. Now that's $628 or $324. That's a very big difference in how much money you can actually be saving. And that's from online versus in person. So you decide. Which brings us to our next tip. Take a picture of your receipt. Now, there are people out in this world that don't lose anything. There are people who have never lost anything a day in their life. But I'm just gonna go out on a limb here and say the person watching this video probably isn't one of those people. I say take a picture of the excursion receipt because you will lose your receipt before you lose your phone. Even if you're really good with keeping up with things, I would just recommend you take a picture of your receipt. And here's why. On the 23rd of December, we bought an excursion. On the 24th of December, that morning after, we couldn't find the receipt. Our excursion was actually set to start at 9:30. That's when we get on the boat, we go sailing, we enjoy our day. Well, it didn't really start until 11:30. That's 2 hours. So in those 2 hours, we had to finagle around and pretty much figure out how we're gonna get on this excursion. So 2 of us actually had to take taxis up to the place that we got the excursion from and pretty much talk to those guys again and get a copy of our receipt. All of that took about an hour and 30 minutes. It's an hour and 30 minutes of headache, paying, and headache. So that's actually time and money that we wasted on finding this thing that we've lost. Now, if you're watching this, you're probably like, that will never be me losing something. How stupid. What would you rather actually do? 2-second picture or 2-hour wait? Tip number 3, pay in the currency of the place that you are visiting. In our case, it was Mexican pesos. Some vendors actually have exchange rates to where you have to actually pay an advance fee because you're paying with a different transaction. And this is something that you really can't get around. And if you're a stubborn person and want to really just pay the currency that you know so dear, then here's tip number 4. Get a currency exchange app. Foreign countries won't always be the best at counting your currency. Sometimes they can get the numbers wrong. You may be paying a lot more for that said product than you actually think. These are where these apps shine. You see the exact number of what you need to pay, and you just pay it. Now, you can have dollars in your currency, and you can just tip those dollars, which most people say would benefit the most. But if you're really paying for a product, I would suggest using the currency of the place that you're in. This tip is especially for people who don't like math. And within the first 30 minutes of being there, I was really like, okay, I'm just gonna get an app because I'm really tired of just doing the math in my head. After a while, you really don't even need the app anymore, and you kind of just throw it away or just not use it. But it is really beneficial in getting things moved along and speeding up the whole process. Tip number 5. Now, some people might think this is a weird tip, but I think this is a need to know tip, and it'll probably save you a lot of risk and hazards. It's best for your health. Save your straws. Before the pandemic, this tip wasn't really as crucial, but now that the pandemic is a factor, you really don't want to just go around putting your mouth on every single cup or glass. I say save straws because not all places give you straws. I was lucky to find at least 3 straws in Mexico. Due to the ocean waste, straws have really been just disappearing around the world. But around this time, and especially during this pandemic, this is really when we need straws the most. And don't be that guy that throws your straws into the ocean. Don't be him or her. Thank you guys for checking out this video. Hope you guys stick around. It's been David MC. Catch you guys later. With